Alright, GSN followers, we have another video today. This is more of an upgrade to the last copper pipe antenna that I used a 3/4 inch pipe. I got my boy Renegade here kind of giving me some brainstorming ideas to help me out. The problem I had with the last antenna was the weight. So I know it wasn't really meant to be a mobile antenna, but I had it on the mobile, like on the vehicle, and I was like, let me just play around with this and drive around, and it bent the end cap here. So I was thinking about just getting a thinner 1/2 inch, but when I went to use the 3/8 by 24 inch thread, it wouldn't fit in there. So I was going to try to swage it with this tool, but I had to swage both of them. Either way, the solution was to also use the same cap for a 3/4 inch, and then have a coupler pipe to match into this reducer, and then that reducer would match this would go this this 1/2 inch pipe, you know. And then these are all my tools to clean it up: some Scotch-Brite, some deburring tools, some pipe cutters, and like I said, that 5/8 deburring, swaging tool will be to help 2 of the 5-foot copper pipe antennas go into each other, and I only have to solder one end. So then I also have some a butane to heat up some pipe. I have some solder right over here. Dun, 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 dun. And I have some brush and some flux that should help out in the process right here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Where is this brush here? There you go, a little brush to go with it. So this is pretty much everything I'll need for the project. And at the very top, I want to again tune it to the bottom of the CB band or 11-meter band, and I want to use this as a tuner. So this time I'm actually going to solder this cap to the end of the pipe, and then I will sandwich these 2 nuts into the top of this. It doesn't have to be the 3/8 by 24 like the bottom mount. And then I will be able to tune this up and down like so. I will start it tuned all the way down for the bottom of the band, and then I can work my way up. Say, even if I want to use sideband, maybe I can get it up high enough that it will tune it up, or lower, I guess, which depends on which side of the band you're talking about. But all right, stand by everybody. Project copper pipe number 2 underway. So not to bore you with our horrible solder job, but let me just get you up to speed where we're at. So I got that nut in there with that hex head, sent it through a center hole like before, sandwiched it with this nut here, and this is the 3/8 by 24. And we tighten the crap out of it, hit it with some solder from underneath and on top, so without this pipe in. And then we took the Scotch-Brite, we cleaned off this little extension piece basically, hammered it down into there. We took a file and a wire wheel to that solder, and now we have a real solid base here. Now here I'm either going to put a reducer right on the edge of this, or cut this down a little bit and then put the reducer, which is right here, on top of that. So this will be the base in order to put our 1/2 inch pipe in. And then we will solder this, 1/2 inch pipe will go in here, solder that, and then we will have a 5-foot piece of copper pipe. So then we will swage that piece into that piece, and then we will cut that top piece down until it tunes up right. So, but just giving you an update. So, Scotch-Brite at the top of this pipe, like so, making sure that's nice and clean. And then the top here, I took my deburring tool, hit that, see that piece of metal just flew off there. And then we're going to clean the crap out of the inside of this. Not that I didn't need to clean that, because this is going to go on the outside. But here, that's going to be our 2 solder joints right there. This is my first go at soldering. I had my boy Renegade kind of doing it for me, but this is, I'm going to have my first hand in this. So I just got to heat this up with this butane torch.
Go ahead and hold the camera.
Yeah, please.
Renegade's cameraman work here. Yeah, just heat it up around all the edges of the pipe. And this is what it's called sweating the copper pipe with solder.
Got enough?
Alright, yeah, try out putting a little bit of flux on it and you should see it kind of just melt on there.
Okay.
Won't take too much.
Yeah, that flux is rock solid.
Yeah. Good job there. And the flux kind of helps clean as well as transfer heat, and it helps wick the solder into your joints.
Okay, perfect. Is that enough? Is that too
that's
much?
plenty.
All right, do I heat it up again?
Yeah, go ahead and heat it up really good. Oh yeah. You'll start to see the copper kind of turn a little bit. So you know it's about up to temperature. And there you go.
Okay.
So it's starting to turn color. Then go ahead and start. There you go.
Okay.
Get a little bit more heat on there. And you could even put the solder on there while you got the torch. There you go.
Okay. Made a little bit of a mess there, but okay.
That's how it is.
Put it right here. Okay. Not pretty, but it's my first time.
It's not bad at all. I'll give you some room there. You can get around your workpiece.
How's that?
I think that's going to work right there. That's actually a really good job.
There we go. Perfect.
And then we'll do the same thing on the other side once we let this cool down a bit.
Okay.
And
then we'll brush it?
yes.
All right, cool.
And more to come.
All right, here's where things are getting a little silly, but I think I have a really good solution. The reducer is going to go here, and this pipe will sit here, right? But only what? 3/4 of an inch of support. Renegade and I had the same idea as to do a few things. One, we're going to take this round file and file off that lip, so this pipe here will go all the way down to the bottom. So it's going to have that additional support. But to have even more support, we had a better idea to put this coupling on the edge of this. And then when we, well, you got to put the coupling on first. So this, when this is filed out, we'll slide up here. We'll put this coupling on here. And then when we put it down into this pipe, like so, we're going to slide it all the way down, and it's going to rest right over the nut that fits just perfectly inside here. And we can tap it with the hammer from the top. Kink, kink, kink. Actually, we might solder this, actually. We might solder this piece in here after we file out the inside of this coupler. So, stand by. All right, see, we're going to get that lip off the inside of here so that pipe can slide right through it. So we're going to get this round file. Thank you, my wonderful assistant. And then we're just going to do a little of this. Here you go.
All right.
Thank you.
We're just going to get that stop out of there so we can get that 1/2 inch pipe all the way through. We don't have any problems. It's always good to have a reamer
Right.
working with this material.
All right, let's see if that did the trick. No, just a little more work. I'll do it off camera, and then I'll get back to you. All right. So we got the filing. We filed that little ledge off of there, so now it can slide up here. And then now we're going to put this bad boy in the vise, and we're going to solder this. All right, we're going to solder this coupling onto here now, which will also hold the end of the head of the nut or the bolt. So we got to heat this up. Stupid stickers, I hope they burn off. Okay, it's starting to change color, that's good.
Yes, sir.
All right, flux it up.
That's what we want to do. We want to flux things up.
So heat her up
Yes.
as I get my solder ready. How do you know when that's ready?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and start applying the solder. Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Yep.
Is there like too little amount of solder that you can use? Like,
What I do is once that thing's getting hot, I'll keep running it and then heat it, and then I'll run it some more just to make sure it's still. I'll just always watch it wick, because you know when those bubbles start forming up, that means that there's still air inside the joint.
I'm just hitting the back side of this. And then we should be done. There we go. Does that look good?
Oh yeah. I'd hit it with a little bit more heat just to make sure it wicks in.
Okay.
Once you start seeing it kind of puddle. All right.
Good?
Oh yeah. It's perfect.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Now this cooled off. I'm just gonna, I don't even have to brush it clean. It's going inside this antenna portion over here. But this is what's gonna happen. Again, we're gonna slide this in this piece here, and the nut, or the bolt head, at the base of this antenna is going to be right like this, and it's going to sit perfectly in this coupling. And once you give it a little taps of the hammer, it'll seat right over this. Like I said, I'm just using my fingers here, but it'll slide right over that, and that will support the left and right, the wobble at the bottom, and then this will slide over the top of here, and then we will solder and solder this, and that will be the base. We will be complete. So here's what we did, because I'm going to give it a little tap from the hammer. This is Renegade's idea. Put a little nut on the end of that thread so we don't damage it, and we're going to slide this into the bottom here and put it on the concrete and give it a little tap with our hammer to make sure it seats over that nut. And there, see how it's lifted it up? See, lifted it up. That means it's seated over the edges of that bolt. All right. Now we can solder the coupling. See, look at that. Nice. It's stuck on there. Ugh. Perfect. Then this will center it. Boom. Solder, solder.
Let's focus.
All right. So here's our first time swaging something. I've never tried this before, but this is a 5/8. This is a 1/2 inch. Supposedly this will expand it enough to cup over the next pipe. So let's give it a try. I set my drill to drill. Let's see how this goes. Nope, let's get a different drill. Alright, so we may be abandoning the swage. I'm sure I did it wrong, but that looks crooked as hell and unsafe, and it thins the wall out, and because this will need support at a distance, yeah, it might be able to cup over something, but I don't know. Maybe I just need more practice and then I'll try it on the next one. But for this one, we're just going to go with a union or a coupling, just because the added support on the outside, even though it's only like a little more than maybe a 1/2 inch of support on each side. The solder will do the trick for now. Clean this up. Okay. All right. We'll show you how when we get them both put together with this union, coupling, and soldered up.
I got laughed at because I heated the center coupling too much, and I was actually using a 3/4 base and a reducer, but I heated it up too much because I wasn't as experienced in like the solder stuff. I mean, I could solder on circuit boards, but like I was just learning the soldering and plumbing and stuff, and I didn't know how long to keep the torch on and all that stuff, and how it made a difference in the malleability of copper and all that stuff when it's heated. And here we go.
So we clean the hell out of that. The coupling, both ends of this.
Nice and good and clean.
Nice, good and clean.
And then we'll keep this in here. And I may...
Renegade's going to solder this for me.
And we'll get this, if you can just keep this one held in place there. That way it won't bend on us. And I'm going to reach around here, grab the torch.
Yeah, I'm going to, do you want me to step back and make sure that it's straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Tuning bolt at the top, just like this one, but we're actually going to solder the nuts on the top and the bottom. So this one is just kind of sitting there and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It comes right off. So we're going to pilot a hole, get the correct size drill bit. I think it's a 1/4 inch. You know, get a little wider. Then we're going to put this in here, squeeze the crap out of these two nuts, and then we're going to solder these one at a time. But I'm going to have to, I don't know, we think it's going to hold the threads. So we're just got this ratchet to kind of keep it moving as it's starting to dry, just to make sure at least the bolt is free of the solder. So stand by. Okay, we got our cap drilled and we got our nut and bolt. So we're going to just squeeze these two nuts on this bolt sandwiched in this cap here. And I have this ratchet with a socket. I got a long, whatever you call it, a deep socket, a 1/4 drive. Fits just inside that cap perfectly. So we're going to just go like this. Okay. All right, now it's nice and tight. Now we're going to solder it, and keep this bolt moving. All right, so this is the end of our cap that we made. Look at that, nice and smooth. But of course, what we need now to keep it in place is a gem nut. So I'm going to go put that gem nut on, but I just wanted to show you the end of our work. Soldered inside and out. Not pretty, but it gets the job done. We're really stoked about this one. Tuning it up is going to be fun. Stand by. Now this video has really been dragging on at 20 minutes already, so I'm just going to make this part 1 of 2. This will just be the build. The second part of the video will be the tuning. And this portion of the antenna is where all the magic happens for support and bracing, and then it steps down into that 1/2 inch. And this is the first 5-foot 1/2 inch copper pipe, and it meets with this coupling here, soldered. Continuing on with the other 5-foot non-cut, non-tuned section, I just still have to solder this end cap. The next video we will do all the tuning underneath that copper cap there. We will cut it back to the bottom of the band and then solder it, and then we will extend that bolt out and then use that jam nut to tighten those 2 nuts together, and we'll tune it to the top of the band. All right, GSN followers, thanks again. On to the next one.